Oh, it's just about time. Hello, all, and welcome to the Chainlink Hackathon Fall 2021. We are incredibly excited for everyone to be here, everyone to be joining us from all around the globe to hear about this hackathon, hear about what's in store, what we're doing for this hackathon, and what's going on. So the time is currently 6 p.m. Eastern time, and people are trickling in. Hello, everyone who's trickling in. I'm looking in the comments right now. Hello, whoop, let's go. Let's go. Absolutely. Welcome to the opening ceremony. We're going to give people a couple minutes to trickle in, and then we're going to jump right into it. So I'm seeing all the comments. I know there are a ton of people at the different hack parties who are watching right now, who are watching live, who are as excited as I am to get this thing off the ground, to get this thing going and start building the future of smart contracts here. And you know what? Actually, we're 1 minute in. So why don't we just kick it off right now? Why don't we just get started? Let's get right into it. Are you ready? All right, great. So welcome to the Chainlink Hackathon Fall 2021 opening ceremony. We are incredibly excited for everyone to be here. And again, a huge shout out to the hack parties that are going on right now. There are some physical venues where people got together and are watching this live with each other, and it's incredibly exciting. Let me turn down my my mic volume just a hair so I'm not breaking your headphones. Sorry about that. But hello to Bath, Berkeley, Leipzig. I said I would say it right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Mexico City, Philadelphia, Shanghai, Turkey, LA. There are so many of these hack parties going on. If you have one in your area, definitely reach out and meet some of the great people who are gearing up for this hackathon. So what are we even talking about today? What are we talking about in this opening ceremony? Well, here's the agenda for this opening ceremony. We're going to be talking about the last hackathon to get starting. And then we're going to talk about all of the new additional changes and the new and improved hackathon for this hackathon, because I guarantee you this hackathon is going to knock you out. So after that, we're going to do a special presentation from a very special somebody. Then we're going to go into the rules, the schedule, and eligibility, then the prizes as well, a few special developer announcements, and then, of course, we're going to get into Gather for our team building event, which we are incredibly excited for as well. So let's jump in. For those of you who are here, you absolutely want to and need to join the hackathon and register right now. So if you haven't seen the register page, go to hack.chain.link and register there. This is going to be an insane event. This is the time for you to register and become a part of this movement. So let's talk about the past hackathon, though. The last hackathon, the hackathon that happened maybe 6 months ago in the spring, very recently. It was a phenomenal event, absolutely fantastic. 4,000 signups, 4,000 engineers, over 4,000 engineers signed up. There were over 140 projects, over $130,000 in prizes. It was one of the most successful hackathons the Chainlink Labs team or any of the blockchain development groups had done in the space. And we were floored by the turnout there. Before that, we did a hackathon before, and we had doubled the hackathon from the hackathon prior to that. So we doubled the hackathon. We're on our way right now. We're on our way to doubling. But let's talk a little bit about that last hackathon. The grand prize winner, D-Bridge, right? Here's some of the success stories that come out of these. This happened 6 months ago. After the hackathon, they raised $5.5 million, which is absolutely insane. Vulcan Exchange brought on Mark Cuban as an advisor to their project. Absolutely wild. And we also had a ton of fun doing these industry-leading workshops that got a ton of views. A ton of people learned how to do all these fantastic things in the smart contract in the blockchain world. We met, we networked, we had a fantastic time. It was a blast of a hackathon. And yet, all this. And yet somehow this hackathon is already gearing up to being even better. Somehow. Introducing the Fall Chainlink Hackathon 2021, where we're bringing it to the next level. I hope you're excited, because I'm excited. So let's talk about who's here. Who signed up? Who's in the comments chatting right now saying, you love Chainlink, woo, what's up? How's it going? Who's here? Right now, we have 5,200 signups, which is awesome. And we expect those signups to increase as the hackathon goes on. We said the last day for the official registration was today. We are extending it because so many people are trying to get in last minute. So we're extending it to go for the duration of the hackathon. So you have time to register. You have time to sign up. And we expect the number of buddies and the number of friends in this group to explode here. So I'm getting a couple people saying there's something wrong with the audio sync. Apologies there. That just that just might be the way it is. I'm sorry. Let me try one thing real quick. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Hopefully that's better. If it's not better, let me know. In any case, here is who is here. We have a ton of engineers who are brand new to the space. We have 41% of the people have zero or little to no knowledge of blockchain. So we have a ton of new people here, which is great. Welcome to blockchain. Welcome to the blockchain realm. We're incredibly excited to see you. We're incredibly excited to have you. We have another 40% who have a little bit of blockchain knowledge, but not too much. Again, welcome. Excited for you to be here. Excited for you to be part of this journey. And we have about 15% of people who have experience, have worked with blockchain, and are really good at what they do, right? They know what they're doing. They're here. They came to compete. They're here to show up. So we have a huge range of experience at this hackathon. People who are brand new, who are thirsty and hungry to learn more and grow in this blockchain, in this brand new space. We also have people from around the globe. We have people from over 50 countries at this hackathon, which is absolutely insane. Some of the stats are on the board right there. We have about 28% from the United States, 10% from India, 4% from the UK, from Thailand, Canada, China. The list goes on and on and on. So we're incredibly excited for everybody who is here to have a fantastic time. And on that note, too, let me actually switch to presentation mode so you can see the stats here. On that note, too, during our last hackathon, we asked everybody, hey, what are you looking for? What's going on? What's happening, right? What do you guys want? We want this to be a hackathon for you, for the engineers, for the developers. We want everyone here to have a fantastic time. So at our last hackathon, we said, what do you want? What does everyone here want? What are the things that people want? And they said, well, they want world-class workshops. They want to do more welcome to blockchain, welcome to smart contracts, welcome to Solidity. So guess what we did? We brought those back, and we brought back even more. We have some cutting-edge workshops for this hackathon that have never been seen before. Never seen before workshops that nobody has ever seen. And we're going to teach you guys how to do it. We're going to teach everybody here everything here to get you all up to speed and get you building these insanely powerful smart contract applications. Now, let me just switch back to presentation mode. Sorry about that. So here's the schedule. Apologies, I didn't have it up. I'll again join the hackathon. Some stats to the last hackathon. Sorry, I didn't get to show you all these wonderful pictures, but they're here for you now. They're here for you now. In any case, so we had all these people say, hey, we want these workshops. We want more prizes. We want more cool sponsors. We want more fun events. We want more career and startup support. And we heard you loud and clear. We took all this, and basically what we were hearing was, we want to learn more so we can do more. And we want to take the next step. We want to learn more so we can do more, and we want to take the next step. So that's exactly what we did. Like I said, we're bringing back these workshops. We're bringing a ton of amazing free educational and tooling offerings. So those of you who have signed up know you get a free ChainShot course. You get free Eat the Blocks course. You get free 2 months of Alchemy nodes. In addition to, we've partnered with a number of other of the top educational groups in the entire world to bring you prizes and tooling and resources so that you can take everything that you have in the world to offer and build something absolutely amazing, no matter what experience level that you're at. And if you add all this up, if you add all these toolings and these offerings, it's over $1.5 million in educational offerings and $800,000 in free tooling. So there's a massive, massive offering here. You'll get an email next week on all of this stuff, on the Eat the Blocks educational content, on the ChainShot educational content, and the 2 months free Alchemy nodes. I know a lot of engineers are very excited about that so that they can build their applications using Alchemy and doing a fantastic event. So we heard you loud and clear. We've also introduced a number of more fun events, a way to engage with each other, a way to have a blast and do something outside of just clickety-clack on your keyboards and grind away. So we've added some events like speed coding, a Twitter hangout, a scavenger hunt, and Gather Town. Oh, and by the way, for the scavenger hunt, for those of you who are at this opening ceremony, that's your hint. Tuck that into your back pocket, why don't you? And again, yeah, check your emails next week on all the emails. All the emails are going to go out on getting the alchemy, getting the chain shot, getting the free code camp. Excuse me, not the free code camp, but you should check out free code camp too. Getting all those educational pieces of content for you to build these amazing things. Now, like I was saying, we heard you loud and clear. You want more to do more, and you want to know how to take that extra step, which is why we created these 2 tracks, the main track and the welcome track. The welcome track having all these educational pieces of content, where the main track having these huge advances and these huge steps for you to take to bring it to the next level. And with that, I want to say, because we have all these tracks, because we have all these prizes that I'm going to go into in a bit, don't worry, I know you're here for the prizes and everything else, but because we have so much, I want to say submit your project no matter what, okay? There are so many prizes. It's going to be how you're going to learn the best. This is how you're going to connect. It's going to be a piece of your resume. It's going to be that resume builder. It's a great way to get noticed, pitch to a VC, and you get swag just by submitting, right? So just by being here, by submitting to this hackathon, you're going to get some Chainlink swag. You're going to level up your wardrobe a little bit, right? A little bit nicer than my purple colored shirt here. And you'll lose out on all this if you don't submit. So make the commitment now, to make the commitment to yourself that this is where it starts. This is the hackathon that you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to take the time to learn. I'm going to take the time to submit, or I'm going to take the time to take that next step in my career. Start that startup, maybe apply for that blockchain group, or build something on the protocol. Make the commitment to yourself that this is it. This is where it starts. And speaking of prizes, we have about $500,000 plus in hackathon prize bounties. Insane, right? The last hackathon was $130,000. It has bumped up an insane amount to $500,000. So those of you who are going for the gold, there is a ton of prizes for you to go for. And additionally, a brand new feature we added to this hackathon is a VC pitch day. That's right. You get to pitch your projects to a VC, right? So if you want to say, hey, I made something really cool at the Chainlink Hackathon, I want to bring it live, I want to bring it to the next level, you now have that opportunity. Almost like a crypto Shark Tank, if you will. So those who are going for that mainnet track, who are going for the next level, boom, this is your opportunity. This is how you're going to get there. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about why we're here, right? We're obviously here for the educational tools. We're obviously here for the prizes. We're obviously here to network and grow and learn. But there's so much more, right? Why are we here? Why is this space here? Like, why are we so important for what we do? Why are we the pioneers? Why is this the stomping grounds of innovation in the blockchain space? Why are these hackathons the places that the next billion-dollar protocols come from? Why? What's going on? Like I said, we're obviously here to learn and grow and connect, win prizes, but we are the pioneers of the century, right? We are the engineers building the rails of the new world. We are creating economic opportunities for ourselves, for those around us, by delivering projects focused on math-based superior digital agreements and organizations. And additionally, in all these wonderful things that's happening, we've created brand new industries, right? Us the engineers, and everyone else who's here, us the non-engineers too. We've created industries like DeFi, decentralized finance, so we can engage in censorship-resistant and no third-party intermediaries finance. We can work with NFTs. We have digitally, cryptographically proven art and culture, like on a blockchain, immortalized forever. We've created this thing called DAOs, decentralized organizations, groups there where there's no centralized body, that are totally decentralized. And gaming is absolutely massive. We've seen an explosion in gaming recently, and all of these tools and all these industries are why we're here. These industries and these tools are all the future, and is what we're building at hackathons like this. So with that being said, I want to say absolutely 100% thank you to all the participating technologies and sponsors at this hackathon. And if you see any of the sponsors or hackathon attendees or participating technologies, please give them a warm thank you, because it is because of them that make this possible. Hackathons like these are these wonderful collaborative events where we get to help each other grow. We get to help each other build this future. So please give them a huge thank you from myself and from everybody else. Additionally, please thank the community sponsors, right? Like I said, some of those educational partners, some of those educational groups, and those technologies like Hard Hat, like Brownie. These are the groups and sponsors and technologies that allow us to build everything here. So if you see any of them, please give them a huge thank you, and we will see more from them in a little bit. But before we talk more about sponsors, and I know you're all as hyped as I am and excited as I am, I'm here to bring a little bit more excitement with a very, very special presentation. So I think a lot of you know who I'm talking about. Sergey, I'm going to bring you on now. Hello, Sergey. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Patrick. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. So with that, Sergey, I will turn it over to you. Everybody, this is Sergey Nazaraz, the co-founder of the Chainlink protocol, and very excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patrick. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining in the hackathon. And I'm super excited to see what everyone builds and what we're able to achieve out of this hackathon. I think one of the amazing things is how far certain hackathon projects have gone. And those hackathon projects that have done well in past hackathons have actually gone on to be accepted to incubators and actually gone on to raise millions of dollars from top firms. So what I've seen from these hackathons is people that really put their best foot forward are able to generate something truly unique and nuanced. And, after another couple of iterations of that, they go to an incubator or they actually raise money and make a real working project. And that's a big part of our goal, is to enable the future of decentralized systems, decentralized consensus, and truth-based society. So I think it's useful for us to just briefly talk about, what are we all doing in this industry, and why are we working on this, and what are we seeking to achieve? In my mind, I think we are creating a society powered by truth, rather than a society powered by weak trust assumptions and weak trust promises. And throughout history, there has actually been a lot of friction and a lot of problems and a lot of societal failure and a lot of lost opportunity based on the fact that people have traditionally only been able to interface through trust us promises. And the unique opportunity that's been afforded to us over the past decade with the appearance of Bitcoin and other decentralized systems is actually the ability to create a truth-based society. And then there's two versions of that truth. There's cryptographic truth, and then there's definitive truth. Cryptographic truth is truth that's guaranteed with private keys and encryption, and guaranteed to be correct and deterministically firm in its correctness. And then definitive truth is actually what we at Chainlink work on, and what we hope to provide you as the developer community to then build the applications that create a society powered by truth, rather than a society powered by weak trust assumptions. And this is actually the big idea that we need to bring into the world, right? So really in my study of economic history and my study of technical protocols and their evolution over the last 50, 60 years, I see that the old way of doing things is actually the thing that's stopping progress. And so the real question is, how much better is the new way of doing things? And what are the external economic factors that drive people to adopt, cars instead of horses, or electricity instead of oil lamps, or smart contracts instead of centralized systems? And I think this deeper understanding is actually very important for both people building these things and eventually for really everyone in society, which is where I think things will get to. Generally speaking, I think the way that society works now is there are institutions and brands that interpret and process real-world outcomes and events into contractual agreements that are either digital or paper or whatever combination of the two. But this results in what we call just trust us paper promises. And these just trust us paper promises have a tendency to fail. And there's a long string and history of this. Enron in the auditing world, Robinhood in the trading world, Wirecard in the payments world, Evergrande most recently in the real estate world. And fundamentally, it's because there's nothing foundationally guaranteeing those systems There's only an assumption that a group of people somewhere will behave in a certain way. And the reality is that they don't behave that way because they're not cryptographically forced to act according to a protocol or according to a set of deterministic conditions that are enforced by a cryptographically guaranteed system like a blockchain and an Oracle network and private keys. And what you really have appearing now in the last few years is what I call the truth machine. And the truth machine is Oracle networks that are combined with blockchains and that are controlled by private keys. So those are really the three pillars of what's changed in the world. You have Oracle networks generating deterministic, cryptographically guaranteed truth. You have blockchains storing that, giving people access to that, allowing that to affect contractual outcomes, such as in smart contracts in networks like Ethereum. And then you have private keys giving people direct and complete control over the agreement and, whether they want to be in it or not in it on a second by second basis. And this transition to cryptographic truth and to definitive truth through the truth machine and Oracle networks, and this combination of private keys and Oracle networks and smart contracts, that is the tool set, that is kind of the triangle of tools that is going to completely reinvent society, once again, from a society that's based on promises and based on weak trust assumptions into a society that's based on truth guarantees. And I fully believe that right now we are in an early stage where people are implementing the first protocols, the first applications, kind of like the first email clients or the first websites. And eventually the enterprises will begin to compete with each other, and they're already starting to do that by adopting blockchains. But more importantly, I think people in society will come to demand cryptographic truth the same way they need people to do emailing with them, or the same way that people need to have a cell phone. And basically there will be a requirement that the average person has for cryptographic truth to guarantee their relationship with peers through a platform or with the platform or institution itself, right? So basically, we're going to go from a world where people say one thing and do another. Robinhood says one thing, does another. Evergrande says one thing, does another. Enron says one thing, does another. And we're going to transition to a world where that's not possible anymore. And once enough of the world transitions to a state of cryptographic guarantees and cryptographic truth, the rest of the world won't have a choice, because all the users, all the people consuming all these services and systems and financial products and insurance and ad networks and games, they will force the rest of the world to convert, because they will demand cryptographic guarantees. And what we're doing in our industry and what you're doing at this hackathon and what we're all doing kind of together, in my opinion, is slowly, piece by piece, line of code by line of code, bringing the world to this idea of cryptographic truth through use cases, through infrastructure, through various research innovations. This is what we are all doing in our own way. And it's something that I feel very lucky to be a proud of, because these types of monumental shifts in how society works, they happen, every couple of centuries or every century, something like that. The internet was really the last closest thing to this. And even you could say that this cryptographic truth is going to be the final state of the internet. Web3 is what the internet will be for the next 50 years after it started 50 years ago, right? So I think this is actually the end state of the internet. This is the thing the internet will do in its final form. It'll provide cryptographically guaranteed outcomes and truth. Our goal is to build a society and a world powered by truth. We do this because we fundamentally believe that, truth as a foundation for how society and peer-to-peer agreement and institutional level agreement, that is the foundation on which society and relationships and institutional guarantees and peer-to-peer relationships should be built, not weak trust assumptions. And we are doing this by building decentralized systems that link everything in the world to truth, which we believe creates a fair and unbiased world, but which you as the developers are actually instantiating into reality. So we are providing you the infrastructure, we are providing you the architecture to build more useful, more applicable smart contracts, right? So we have been able to build an infrastructure called Oracle Networks that takes smart contracts out of the world of only tokenization, only private keys, only voting mechanisms, right? That is the world of smart contracts up until Oracle Networks. And that's important. That's an important step in the evolution of our industry. It's gotten a lot of value in the industry. It's created DAOs. It's done a lot of amazing things. But the next step that's already well underway, and that I think many of you are interested in, which is why you're here, and you should be interested, because it's a monumental shift in what smart contracts do. It's the ability to build what we call hybrid smart contracts that can interface with real world data, that can use different contracts on different chains, and that can do more advanced things, thanks to trust minimized off-chain compute via systems like Chainlink keepers and Oracle networks that do trust minimized off-chain compute. Generally speaking, this is the missing piece of the puzzle to unlock a huge amount of use cases. And so I don't really think that I've ever seen in my experience building technology as much opportunity to build new use cases and as much demand and capital and interest in trust minimized, truth-based, cryptographically truth-based use cases, whether that's in gaming, whether that's in art, whether that's in the financial system, whether that's in insurance, whether that's in ad networks. All of these separate, huge, hundreds of billions of dollars markets have a deep need for cryptographically truth guaranteed systems. And for the first time in the last few years, we've been able to make infrastructure available that allows people to build that. And so that is really the opportunity of this hackathon, and in my opinion, the opportunity in our industry. We at this hackathon, we have two tracks, one for people who are just starting, one for people who are more advanced. We have a huge amount of sponsors. We have a huge amount of resources. We have a lot of different services that provide various data, the ability to prove the state of an asset, the ability to get verifiable randomness, the ability to do new types of computations that you couldn't traditionally do in a blockchain in a trust minimized way. And we allow you to do this across many different chains and with many different data sets. So once again, for the first time in this industry, you can make the permutations that really weren't possible a year ago. You couldn't build a combination of a random number generator, 3, 4, 5 really high value data sources, keepers implementation to start and stop the contract, all into one expansive hybrid smart contract, right? And so the definition of a hybrid smart contract has really expanded. It has expanded beyond, hey, there's just some code on a chain over here. Oh, there's two contracts, one for the tokens, one for the multi-sig, maybe a third one for voting. The scope of what a smart contract has just expanded in the last couple of months, year, something like that, with the appearance of Oracle networks. And so the implementations that people can make, the amount of different new ideas that people can implement in gaming, DeFi, insurance, ad networks, any number of use cases, it's basically just an open opportunity in all of these environments, which is, I have to tell you, I've never seen this much opportunity in our industry. Generally speaking, some examples are things like proof of reserves. So you can get an Oracle network to verify the state of different assets and to prove the state of that asset. That'll solve things like Enron. It'll solve things like Wirecard. Instead of waiting for an annual audit, you audit something every single block. You prove on a 10-second basis what is the state of an asset using cryptographic guarantees. Adding identity to various contracts. We have multiple identity data sources. There's various ways to use Oracle networks to add identity. The ability to do trust minimized off-chain compute that was previously not possible. And generally speaking, you were limited in what you could build on chain until keepers and keeper networks really appeared. For example, you couldn't even really start a contract or stop a contract just with the contract itself, right? You would need a keeper network to tell the contract to start at a specific time and to stop at a specific time. But now with the level of automation we've provided, you can build more automated, more advanced smart contracts that consume various data, use various randomness sources, for verifiable randomness, and basically build the contract of the future today. That's basically what I'm telling you. Is the contracts that people didn't think were possible yesterday are now possible today, and that's the big difference. In fact, with keepers, you can actually do a really interesting thing where you can broadcast a really big contract, and you can designate a portion that goes into the keeper network, and you can designate a portion that runs on chain, and you can actually, in a scalable way, do a lot of different things with smart contract code in a keeper and Oracle network that an on-chain contract might have been too expensive or not able to do. we already see this happening, right? So you folks here at this hackathon, many of you probably already work in DeFi. I'm sure some of you work on DeFi protocols. I'm guessing a lot of you are here to get involved in DeFi, understand how it works, understand how to build NFTs, dynamic NFTs, advanced decentralized insurance. I really think you folks are very early, and it's very, very good to be early in an industry like this, because you will learn the things that you need to learn to be in the right position when even more of this takes off. So if you're here to learn DeFi, if you're here to learn how to build NFTs, if you're here to learn how to build these advanced things, I think you're basically doing this at the perfect time, right? Everybody's interested in it. There's huge demand from society for cryptographic truth. And there's still a certain lack of full understanding about how to build these things. So if you can build cryptographically guaranteed systems, you can achieve the things that people in the traditional web world have been trying to achieve for decades, but haven't been able to achieve because they didn't have the right infrastructure. But you do. And that's the big advantage that you have, that if you put the right amount of effort forward, you can really turn into something truly unique. Generally speaking, from here, I think the entire world basically becomes one big global marketplace of smart contracts and chains, all interoperating with each other on all the world's important topics. And what we're going to really arrive at is you'll be able to build smart contracts that are composition of derivatives on a certain chain, carbon credits on another chain, insurance agreements on a third chain, some kind of capital markets activity with data from various Oracle networks and payment systems executing payments for you in various ways to various users. And it's really this expansion that the people working on things now are going to be able to take the fullest advantage of, because it's like any technological shift. If you know how to implement the technology of a technological shift just before it happens, the ability to then implement that when the shift happens is extremely, extremely important and valuable. Not only to helping achieve those goals, but even just to being able to achieve what you want to achieve in your career or in how you'd like to impact the world. So my strong belief is that the entire world is going to cryptographic truth, and the entire world's markets and systems and ad networks and games will all be in one big set of multiverse systems, and it'll just be interconnected at the cryptographic truth level. And this is why Web3 is actually the end state of the internet, and the whole internet will eventually move to Web3. Generally speaking, the numbers are very much in our favor. So not only is this already highly attractive because there's over 100 billion in DeFi, but as a percentage, it's still very, very small. So there's still a huge amount of value that can flow into DeFi. Beyond that, you actually have the rest of the world's markets, right? And if you just look at the size of DeFi and cryptocurrencies relative to the other markets that DeFi covers, that real estate covers, that insurance covers, that global ad networks cover, we're really just at the very, very, very beginning. And once again, what I sincerely think will happen is the entire world will transition to a cryptographic truth-based system. And it is this transition to a cryptographic truth-based system that you here at this hackathon are both moving forward and being prepared to take part in, because you can build truly advanced hybrid smart contracts as a result of going through this hackathon. And that's an ability only a few thousand people really have today. And based on the amount of hybrid smart contracts that are going to need to exist, the ability to instantiate cryptographic truth into all of these systems and all over the world really is, I think, going to be a way to make a real contribution to how society works. So if you find this interesting, I'm thrilled that you're at this hackathon. I'm thrilled that you're building this. If you want to work on the infrastructure itself, then we welcome you to find a way to work with us on helping build this core infrastructure that enables all of this. And beyond that, I wish you the best of luck. And I'm super excited to see what comes out of the hackathon this year. And once again, I have seen a lot of hackathon projects go on to get significant resources, significant investment, and actually become real things that do actually move our industry and society towards a cryptographically truth guaranteed world. So, I'm really grateful that you are willing to spend about a month working on all this. And I think that at the end of the day, it's not only very interesting about what can be built, but many of the things that people build, or even some of the initial creative ideas that people have at these types of things, eventually go on to inform other ideas and eventually go on to have a life of their own. So thank you very much for being part of the hackathon and putting forward the time and effort to really try making something new and creative and finding a way for cryptographic truth to make its way into the world in a unique and useful way. I think it's a really worthwhile endeavor, and I'm really grateful for all the people that are working with us as sponsors, and I'm also very grateful for our community and their support, and I'm extremely grateful for you taking the time to build all of this as well. So thank you.
Look, if that doesn't get everybody excited, I don't know what does. Sergey, thank you so much. Every time I hear you speak, I get more and more inspired. So truly grateful that you're here, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck, everybody.
All right, so that was Sergey Nazaraz, everybody. Like I said, every single time I hear Sergey speak, there's just more and more things that are just so exciting, right? The tip of the iceberg, right? Web3 is the end state. We are at the beginning of this hybrid smart contract revolution, and Sergey just put it so perfectly. And yeah, if that doesn't get everybody excited, I don't know what does. So thank you so much, Sergey. And now that we've heard Sergey, we've heard about all these amazing things that we can do, where we're going, this future that we're building. Let's dial it back a little bit. Let's learn how we're going to start right here to get there, right? What do we need to do? What are the pieces that we need to know to reach that point, right? What do we need to do at this hackathon? What are the rules and eligibility? And don't worry, I promise we'll get right back into the hype train. So for rules and eligibility, everybody here, everything can be found on the dev post and the main site that you're looking for. If you want to know about prizes, if you want to know about upcoming events, if you want to know where to submit, everything, where to watch workshops, the schedule, everything is going to be there. Please see the overall rules for participation, right? We are an incredibly inclusive community, and we will not tolerate anything outside of that inclusivity. So for submissions are due on DevPost November 28th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. You need a 5-minute video, all the source code, a description, and then optionally a link to working demo. You need to have the source code, right? We want to see all the amazing things that you do. We want to help you promote all the really cool things that you build at this hackathon. For projects working with Chainlink and that want to apply for those Chainlink prizes, you do need to make a state change based off of some Chainlink interaction, right? And the workshops are going to show you how to do that in tremendous fashion. So definitely head over to the workshops because we're going to teach you how to do, pretty much everything. And if you're choosing a layer 1, right, a different blockchain, please explain in your project, in your description, why you chose that blockchain, right? If you make an EVM compatible project and just apply to every EVM compatible chain, that's not going to cut it. You got to explain why, right? You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to get all the prizes. You got to explain why you chose each chain. Here's the schedule. I know it's a little bit small here, but you can see the longer schedule on hack.chain.link. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. Today, hackathon starts. Everything is fair game. You must start your projects now. If you started your projects previously, you got to change it, right? The project has to have been created during this hackathon, right? So if you submitted to like the Solana hackathon or ETH Online recently, it's got to be a different project. Now you can improve upon those projects, right? You can make an improvement. Just let us know where the old project stops and where the new project begins, right? Like if you wanted to make an improvement on SushiSwap or something, or make an improvement on Uniswap, Uniswap, it doesn't count as your project. It's that new improvement that would be the project. So November 14th is our midway check-in, where we're going to check in. We're going to see how everybody's doing, right? If you want the swag, you have to participate in this midway check-in. It's just there's a channel in the Discord where you just say, hey, here's the project I'm working on, and that's it, right? You don't have to have any code. All it has to be is an idea, right? By the halfway point of the hackathon, all we're expecting is you to have an idea of what you want to build. Isn't that great? Then November 28th, the judging period starts, and it goes for from the 28th to the 10th. And on the 10th, the winners are going to be announced. We're going to have a closing ceremony similar to this one. We're going to say who the winners are and how everybody did. Again, if you haven't seen the schedule, definitely check out the schedule. Oh, I just realized it's just me again. Apologies. Here's the sheet here. What do we miss? Oh, I missed the rules and eligibility again. Apologies for that. But everything I said holds. Again, everything, you can find all this information on the website, including the schedule, especially the schedule here. For those of you who want to sync it to your calendars, hit that view and sync calendar button, and at the bottom right of the calendar that pops up, there will be like a little Google thing with a little plus sign. Hit that and it'll sync with your calendar. You can use those join buttons on hack.chain.link to join the team building event that's going to happen right after this. You can use the watch button to jump right to YouTube where all of the workshops are going to be, and register here button to obviously register for the hackathon. And of course, if you're looking for more help, right? If the resources on the hack.chain.link don't have everything you need, jump into the Discord. That is incredibly active, right? On the dev post, it's even one of the main actions you have to take. Jump into the Hackathon Discord. That is where all the hackers are congregating. That's where all we're getting together and we're bouncing ideas off each other. Definitely check out the starter kits. Jump onto Stack Overflow. Ask questions. Ask a million questions. Ask 100 questions. Jump into the Chainlink documentation and learn more. There are so many places and so many people to offer help and support. We're going to be doing all of our communications through Discord and email. So we have an announcements channel in the hackathon category where we'll be sending announcements. We will also be sending email, for example, for that alchemy link and for those chain shots and eat the blocks links as well. And again, to not lose swag, education, any of this stuff, you do need to submit, right? So again, make this the hackathon where you say, hey, I'm going to submit. I'm going to level up my wardrobe. I'm going to get some swag, and I'm going to get a chance to win one of the sweet prizes, which again, I know you guys are all excited for. We're getting to very soon, right? So to make sure you're eligible for everything, you just have to sign up on the main site, sign up on DevPost, participate in the midway hackathon check-in, which is literally just post, hey, here's my idea, here's where I'm, here's the code repository where it's going to be, and then submit a valid project at the end of the hackathon. A valid project means that you have some code, right? You actually make some type of state change. You meet the criteria of any prize, right? And even if it's just a remix Solidity code, right? Even if it's that small, even if it's just a few lines of code saying, hey, I'm brand new to the space, perfect, right? We have all these educational prizes for people like you who are really struggling, who say, okay, great, just get over one hurdle, like get into the IDE, submit the prize, do something. That way you can win more of this educational content. You can win more of these welcome prizes. Just submit, you never know. And you'll see we have a ton of prizes. So definitely just submit. And obviously if you want to go more than, just submitting and build something amazing, you absolutely do that as well. Even if you get halfway through the idea, you don't finish it, you're like, just submit. Speaking of prizes, let's talk about prizes now. $500,000 in hackathon prize bounties. So here are our original prizes. I know they're a little small on the screen. We ended up saying, you know what? You all deserve better. So we bumped them up by a lot. Let's talk about the prizes here. Let's talk about what is going on in this hackathon. So the grand prize of this hackathon is walking away with $30,000 in Link. That's right, $30,000. There is a ton of money for the projects that really want to go for it and really do well. And additionally, these winning projects are going to have the chance to pitch your project to a top VC, right? You don't have to. If you want to just make a really cool project and you don't want to pitch it, you don't have to pitch it, but you can. You can pitch it to one of these top VCs and do really well, right? And I'm seeing in the chat, we're crashing dev posts. Great job, guys. We have so many people, we're crashing dev posts. That's incredibly exciting. This is great. Yes, we have so many people. This is fantastic. $30,000 for the grand prize. And these are some of the VCs you're going to get the chance to pitch to. These are some fantastic VCs, people to partner with to help grow your protocol and to help improve the entire blockchain community and the entire blockchain world as it is. Yes, we crashed dev posts. Isn't that funny? Great job, everybody. There's so many of you. This is so exciting. Next up, we have the NFT and gaming prize, right? So this is the project that works with NFTs and gaming the best. This is a $15,000 prize in Link. And you can see the judging criteria again on the dev post. We're looking for creativity, technicality, some wow factor, originality, UI, UX. You can see all the criteria there. $15,000 for NFT and gaming prizes. DeFi, another $15,000. And all of these, again, have chances to pitch to top VCs. So this is the best project that builds some type of DeFi protocol or do something in the DeFi space. $15,000 prize there. Brand new, there is a $15,000 DAO prize. So building some type of decentralized autonomous organization. Maybe you want to do something with a group of people getting together to vote on some governance on an Oracle network or some DeFi project or some NFT project. You can mix and match, right? You can do both. The DAO prize is $15,000. Social impact prize. This is a prize for the project that makes the best social impact, right? And so that's a project that does the best for the greater good, right? So these are the social good. This is the greater good prize, $15,000 for just being a good soul, being a good person. And a brand new prize that I'm very excited to talk about is the new Chainlink Service Prize, right? So a lot of these other prizes are more very Solidity, right? They're very Solidity or Rusty or Go or whatever other blockchain language. This one's a little bit more infrastructure-y. Obviously, there probably will be some type of blockchain language component as well. But what this prize does, it allows for you to build the next Chainlink VRF, the next Keeper, etc. Building some type of infrastructure that's going to help other engineers build protocols. It's an Oracle-powered service, right? And we have 3 prizes here. 15,000 for first, 7,000 for second, 3,000 for third. And we've even given you some ideas here. What do you know? Grab one of these, make it, boom. Who knows? You might win. Maybe like an index fund builder, some gasless voting, gasless transactions, optimistic DAOs, maybe with Gnosis and Snapshot, subjective oracles, data DAOs, Web2 keepers checkup, Chainlink API call and UI debugger, universal unique identity, anything else, right? The sky is the limit here. So you definitely want to check out some of those node building workshops that we're going to have if you're looking to do some of these Chainlink service pieces. Then after that, we have the Chainlink top quality prizes, right? So these are the projects that did incredibly well. They didn't quite make it for those first couple places, but they're the prizes that say you are phenomenal, you deserve recognition, right? So that's what these are. That we're giving 20 prizes out of $1,000. So again, 20 prizes of $1,000, just submit. Oh, and then additionally, we're giving out 45 prizes of $500 in Link. These are what we're calling on the rise prizes, right? These are the up and coming projects. These are the up and coming protocols that also deserve recognition. So an additional 45 projects are going to win $500 in Link. So just submit. And again, we have these educational and welcome track prizes. So if you're nervous, I don't know if I'm going to make the top quality. I don't even know if I'm going to make the rise. I'm kind of just here to learn. Amazing. Welcome. You're welcome here. You are exactly in the right spot. Take that imposter syndrome and toss it out the window. You are exactly in the right place. You can win some boot camp seats. Maybe the self-paced courses aren't your style and you want a little bit more hands-on learning. These boot camps are absolutely right for you. We have some of the best boot camps, the best blockchain educators in the space. dApp University, Eat the Blocks, ChainShot, helping us grow, helping us learn. And additionally, we have 30 welcome NFTs. So these are non-monetary, but they are for the newer engineers in the space who came in and learned a lot and built something really cool, even though they might have been a little bit nervous. They might have been felt that imposter syndrome, but they just submit. So again, just submit, get some recognition. And additionally, it's not on here, but if you submit, you get free swag. So get the swag, level up your wardrobe, get something really cool that you can be really proud of. Say, hey, I got this because I participated in the Chainlink Hackathon. Now, once again, thank you to all the amazing participating technologies. And we're going to go over their prizes, and they all have a little bit something to say. Oh, there's a little bit more on getting help. Oh, sorry, I skipped over a little bit. So let's go over what some of these top participating technologies have to offer, some of the amazing bounties that they have to talk about their technologies to see what they want to do. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to these participating technologies and these sponsors and all these amazing protocols that made this happen. And again, if you see them in the Discord, if you somehow see them in real life, definitely give them a thank you because they are the ones who make this whole thing possible. So let's jump in. Let's jump over to the sponsors.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Chainlink Hackathon. I'm Emin Günsever, the CEO of Ava Labs, the founder of the Avalanche Network, and formerly a professor at Cornell University specializing on distributed systems and consensus protocols. The story behind why I'm here goes back a long time, way before Avalanche, way before Chainlink, to a deep-seated friendship between myself and Sergey, starting with our mutual interest in building the next generation of blockchains, and doing so in a manner that's rooted in hardcore science. We met a long, long time ago at an IC3 meeting and have collaborated ever since. In that time frame, quite a lot of things have happened. Avalanche has launched. It has launched only a year ago. It's relatively a new system, and it has become one of the premier locations for that redefine what users and builders should expect from blockchains. Chainlink, in turn, has set the standard for oracles and data across blockchains for decentralized applications. Avalanche and Chainlink both are ideal examples of research-driven innovators pioneering the future of blockchains. Even as I speak to you today, DeFi is flourishing on Avalanche, and Chainlink's data has unlocked an enormous amount of development across our community. It expands Avalanche's edge as the most technically advanced platform in crypto. There are quite a few Avalanche projects that are using Chainlink today. These are Avalanche native projects, including Benki, Trader Joe, Pangolin, Marker.io, Avalanche, and countless others that I don't have the time or the opportunity to name individually right now. Over $3.5 billion on Avalanche is secured using Chainlink price feeds today. We're very proud of that connection and that collaboration. In celebration of all of the building happening on Chainlink and Avalanche, the Avalanche Foundation has sponsored a number of prizes for this hackathon. I'm really excited to see the submissions from the brightest builders in the space, and I'm very much looking forward to the next wave of innovation in crypto.
Hey guys, this is Ivan from Moralis, and I'm here to tell you how you can build great dApps and how you can do it quickly, because in this hackathon, you have to be quick. You have to be thinking about ideas and implementing them as soon as possible. That is what will ensure that you will win. That will increase your chances for winning. And of course, I will be talking to you about how you can use Moralis Web3 platform in order to achieve that. And you can do it on any blockchain, you can do it cross-chain, however you want. And most importantly, we are sponsoring this event with $50,000. So you can be part of this massive, massive prize pool if you use Moralis. But let's start from the beginning. All of you have some kind of idea. When you are participating in a hackathon like this, you probably have an idea, maybe some kind of NFT idea, some kind of DeFi, some kind of game, some kind of exchange. But whatever idea you have, you need to understand that you will be doing exactly the same things. 90% of this hackathon, whatever idea you have, you're gonna spend on logging in the user. And what does it mean? It means that you need to verify the signature, you need to fetch balances, you need to fetch transactions, you need to fetch smart contract events, you need to fetch real-time events for both smart contracts and users. Then you have to index your database, you have to index the blockchain by putting it into the database, but by extracting data from chain and putting it into database. Then you need to figure out how to send transactions, and 90% of your time will go to this, and then 10% of your time will go to the whatever original idea you have. And this is of course horrible, because everyone will be doing exactly the same things. Everyone in this hackathon, they're gonna do exactly what we just discussed on the previous slide, and this is not good in terms of innovation, because why are we all reinventing the wheel? The problem is this: whenever you start your dApp, you're mostly thinking about the RPC node. This is the biggest mistake most developers make, that they start their dApp by building around the RPC node. And the RPC node is horrible technology. It is very primitive, low-level technology that is very close to the base layer, to the blockchain, which makes it very difficult to develop on, because an RPC node is a horrible database. You cannot query things, you cannot index your RPC node, you need to build your own tech stack around it. And this is what you see on the screen. For example, when a user logs into your dApp, you need to verify the signature on your own backend. You have to build this whole backend colossus, this whole backend monster around your RPC node. Then when you have verified the signature now, you need to fetch all transactions. You have to fetch all the smart contract events that are relevant. You have to build your own database. You have to build your own real-time socket connections, your own API. And of course, this leads to very slow iterations. You cannot be fast when you need to build all of this yourself, and everyone will have to do this themselves. If you don't use Moralis, you're gonna do this yourself. And just like I said, with Moralis, you don't have to do this. With Moralis, you don't have to build this massive crypto backend that everyone is gonna build anyway. So we are really doing the same work over and over again. Because what if there was a solution? What if there was a server solution that did all of this off the shelf? And also, what if we could have a nice SDK to talk to that server? And that is exactly what Moralis is. It is Moralis server that has all of this crypto backend that we just saw with all of the different features right here, syncing transactions, syncing users, syncing balances, syncing NFTs, and doing it cross-chain. And then you also get Moralis SDK, which is the way that you talk to that server. So Moralis is kind of like Firebase of crypto. Sometimes I explain Moralis as Firebase of crypto. Why? Because when you sign up on Moralis.io, you get a server. You can launch a server, and then you can connect with your JavaScript SDK in your web app or your mobile app, and you can log in the user with one line of code like this, Moralis Web3.authenticate. You log in the user, and as soon as the user clicks sign in the MetaMask, you instantly have all of the data about the user in your Moralis database. So Moralis is this whole backend solution that already comes pre-configured. You log in the user, and then you look in your Moralis database, you see the user data right here, you see their NFTs, you see their NFT transactions, you see their tokens, you see their token transactions, and this is cross-chain, because if this user is active on many chains, you also get it in the same database. Moreover, this database auto-updates. So when the user moves the funds on-chain, all of the values, all of the transactions, all of the balances in your database also update in real time. And you can read this database very easily by just writing, for example, Moralis.web3 API, get transactions, get native balance, get token, get NFTs. And basically, if you think about what you just did, you logged in a user with one line of code. You could extract all kinds of data about the user and their balances with 4 lines of code. So altogether, you've built now basically a wallet in 5 lines of code altogether. 1 line of code to log in, and then 4 lines of code to get all the data about the user. You can read this database by using simple MongoDB querying language like this. Very, very simple. You can do whatever you want. You can fetch whatever data you want about the user with whatever filter, whatever aggregation, whatever sorting you want. So this is already unlimited power. But it's only the beginning, because you can also index smart contracts. So you can just tell Moralis which smart contract event you want. You specify the topic, and in real time, it will be inserted into your database, into your Moralis database. So instead of connecting to some kind of subgraph, managing some kind of subgraph, you don't do that. You don't worry about the backend at all. You just worry about the front end. You build what actually matters. Of course, we have amazing documentation. And if you really think about it, we've already covered most of the features we discussed in the beginning. We already covered most of this, except for sending transactions, which is even easier. You just write Moralis.transfer, and then you pass in some options, what you want to transfer, how much, whether it's token, NFT, and you get insane plugins. What do I mean by that? Let's say you want to get fiat into your app, just 1 line of code, moralis.plugins.fiat.buy. Let's say you want to have 1-inch trading in your dApp, 1 line of code, moralis.plugins.1-inch.swap. You can swap any asset to any other asset with just 1 line of code. And this is cross-chain. Currently, we do support Avalanche, Ethereum, Binance, Polygon. Soon we're adding Solana, and soon we're adding Elrond. So you get a unified cross-chain SDK, and you don't have to worry about anything except what your app does. This way, you know that your app is future-proof, because we're going to add more and more chains. And you also know that you can move quickly ahead. So guys, I wish you good luck. The best projects in this hackathon that use Moralis are gonna each get $5,000. So we're dividing 50K into 10 projects, into 10 best projects, and each gets $5,000. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye, guys. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Hello, I'm Discordian, a community engineer from Protocol Labs, and I'm excited to welcome you to the Chainlink Fall Hackathon. It's been 6 months since the exciting Spring Hackathon, which had many cool projects such as Dungeon Crawler and TrueSight, a concept for decentralized content moderation, and many more. I'm looking forward to what the fall season brings. If you don't already know, IPFS is a peer-to-peer protocol which makes it easy to store, find, and transmit data in a vast variety of ways. Filecoin is a decentralized storage network which is incredibly useful for storing data long-term reliably. Using IPFS and Filecoin together, we can store data for the long term with Filecoin, but also access it quickly and easily using IPFS. Using Filecoin and IPFS together is a force to be reckoned with. This season, we have some exciting challenges, prizes, and a prize pool. The prize pool is $15,500 divided among all qualifying teams that don't win a main prize but still submitted for a prize. So this gives everyone an opportunity to win something. We also have a $15,000 grand prize given to the project which makes the best use of IPFS and/or Filecoin. Next up is our social networking challenge. We're looking for the best project which can decentralize our technologies which we commonly use for communication day to day. These could be things like a decentralized chat application where communication doesn't rely on a server staying online to facilitate communication. This could be a social network or newsfeed where information comes from the users you're interested in themselves, not relying on a central entity as the source of truth. You could also create a search engine where results are determined based on data local to the user, perhaps subscribed to peers. I believe this challenge is of significant importance. More and more, we as a humanity are relying on centralized entities for our communication. We have to abide by a TOS, hope that that service we want to use is online, and hope that it's as fast as we want it to be. With distributed and decentralized ideas, we can break free from that centralized model and culture, giving users the freedom they deserve. Not only freedom, but an organic approach that with a centralized model isn't as straightforward. Think of when you talk to someone on the street. Be it your friend or a neighbor, you make the conscious decision whether it's that person and how much. No one else decides what information you may share or receive. Decentralized approaches can be just as organic, as you're again dealing with peers directly instead of a centralized database or entity. For the social networking challenge, we're offering an $8,500 prize to one team. Also, I want social here to be relatively open-ended. If people are able to communicate with each other directly, node to node, in a game, chat, word processor, Git tool, personal blog, anything at all, it qualifies. Even if it's not a text chat, but simply under-the-hood communication used for the application. The social here really is the peer-to-peer communication, and some way to find, follow, or friend a peer so you can identify them later. There are many ways to establish an identity, be it an IPFS peer ID, a near ID, both, or something else entirely. The sky's the limit here, but remember, you must be using IPFS and/or Filecoin in some way. Finally, we have the Web3.storage and NFT.storage challenge. This challenge asks for the best use of Web3.storage or NFT.storage. There are 2 winners of $4,250 for this challenge. I highly recommend using Web3.storage for any data you need stored long-term for free. It brokers Filecoin deals in the background for you, so you don't have to worry about your data being available. Web3.storage will handle all that for you. NFT.storage is the perfect solution for NFTs though. So if you're looking to use NFTs, I highly recommend checking out NFT.storage. Works very similarly to Web3.storage, except with a focus on NFTs. Come, learn, and build. We'll have mentors to help get you acquainted with our tech available during the hackathon, so be sure to reach out. We're eager to hear from you. We're also hosting a weekly Gather.town office hours to meet people you're interested in our tech and hang out. If you're interested, they run twice Thursdays at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. EST. I will try to post a link in the chat, but also feel free to send me a DM and I'll send you a link. To help inspire your projects, I'm going to leave you with some clips I've cut together of Sergey Nazarov from Chainlink and Juan Bennett from Protocol Labs. I hope you enjoy.
Both the Chainlink community and the Falcon community have many thousands of developers, probably tens of thousands of developers together. Those developers experimenting with the tools and the tech and so on, coming up with new use cases, coming up with new applications, and experimenting is what ends up building the new kinds of applications that are going to flesh out and improve the world. And one of the coolest things that's happened is the Chainlink Spring Hackathon earlier in the year had like this record-breaking developer turnout with around 4,000 signups, 140 project submissions, participants from 170 countries. It was a huge success. And one of the really cool things that happened out of that was many of those of the participants in that hackathon went on to develop their hacks into applications and businesses, and went into one of the several accelerator programs. And I think 9 of them, at least I know of at least 9 participants in the Chainlink Spring Hackathon that went on to the TACDAM cohort accelerator. So cool ones that I'll mention include these 9 are like WeatherXM, which is a weather station Oracle network, Fractio, Tamago, Bodo, Skill Wallet, Nifty Royale, 0x Essentials, Blockbet, and Chester. So I'm mentioning these because they're they're example builders and example applications that came out of that hackathon, and they are now off to the races building one of these applications, helping improve tech.
Is that over 500,000 in prizes now? I don't even think it's just the prizes. I think it's the fact that there's a lot of mentorship. There's people from Google. There's people from a lot of different large and small organizations that can help both very early developers and later stage developers. And you're absolutely right that I've been really impressed at the amount of hackathon projects that actually continue to live and continue to exist as not only participants in various incubators, but end up actually raising substantial multi-million-dollar rounds.
Yo, what's up, everyone? It's Shalnon here, and I'm here to tell you why you should be using Polygon, aka Matic, aka the best scaling aggregator in the Ethereum space on your hackathon. It's really that easy. Easy as 1, 2, 3, and switching your RPC. So let's get into it. A little bit about Polygon. If you haven't heard of it before, it is a scaling aggregator. Essentially, we have it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife for if you want to scale your Ethereum dApps. Make it really production ready and low fees and kind of like really fast transactions and really just a generally smooth user experience. If you want that, well, you've come to the right place. We have 2 kind of major types of scaling solutions, right? We have like the L2 aggregator side, which is like we have the ZK rollups. We got optimistic rollups to offer you, and of course our very popular, very well-known Plasma POS chain. And we also have, kind of side chains. If you want to set up your own chain, that's possible. So we're really kind of like promoting interoperability on the Ethereum space. And, essentially you can even call us a second Polkadot on Ethereum. So if you really are looking for, once again, like that scaling, that interoperability with different application specific chains, that's what you're here for. Of course, we have some pretty cool prizes for you. We want to really support kind of like new innovations, and we're excited to see what you're here to build. So we have we reward $3,000 to the best gaming dApp built on Polygon. We reward $3,000 to the best DAO tooling and management dApp, the best DeFi dApp, of course, and the best NFT dApp. So very much like with the times and with what everyone's super excited about. And speaking of what everyone's super excited about, this is, of course, the Chainlink Hackathon. So we got to have a few Chainlink-specific prizes. So what we have is, if you use the Chainlink VRF, which is super popular, especially for NFTs, the best implementation of that gets $3,000. And if you're like a DeFi nerd, and you want to get really good, Oracle-powered price data. You can use the Chainlink price feeds for a potential $3,000 in rewards. And we also have a pool prize for anyone who is using Polygon in any way, which will be distributed amongst the top 14 quality projects out there. So you don't have to be constrained to a mold. And I really want to thank you for your attention, and good luck out there. You're going to do great in this hackathon. And have fun using Polygon to develop. Thanks a ton.
Hey everybody, my name is Peter Abilla. I'm with Harmony Protocol. We're super excited to be part of the Chainlink Hackathon. For this hackathon, we're giving away 3 different prizes. And the first prize is called the Best Use Prize. This is the best use of Chainlink on Harmony. This is an open prize, which means that the design space is totally wide open, totally depends on how you use Chainlink on Harmony, and it's up to you. And so be creative and build something elegant and amazing. The second prize is what we're calling the Game Prize. This goes out to the best use of Chainlink on Harmony with a special angle and focus on games, especially play-to-earn games such as Axie Infinity. And the last prize is called the Composable Prize. And this is the best combination of Chainlink, Harmony, and using services and protocols from other sponsors. And so if you can think of an application that composes Chainlink, Harmony, plus a couple of other sponsors. And so again, very open, white design space, totally up to you. We're excited to see what you guys come up with. The Harmony development team will be available on the Chainlink Discord. We're super excited to see what you guys come up with. Thanks.
Hi, what's up, guys? I'm Kichen, a managing partner of SNZ Holding. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to SNZ in the following few minutes, who we are and what we are doing. We are branding ourselves as a crypto-native thesis-driven fund. The other founders and myself started our career as engineers instead of investors. We were fascinated by the beauty of the Satoshi Nakamoto consensus from engineers' perspective. We dived in early as big fans in the community, then personal investors, now as a fund. We have been through 3 big cycles, including this one, and grew our AUM more than $200 million with 40 plus people in our global team. Myself is in the United States. We envisioned the booming of the crypto world would finally lead to a mega trend. We call it the crypto mega trend, which we are now undergoing. It is not only going to impact the process of technology development and new business models, but ultimately going to change people's lifestyle, way of thinking, communication, and the social structure in a much bigger scope as we can imagine today. So as investors and startup funders, our mission is to embrace this megatrend and follow the impulse of it. We are doing more than just a crypto fund. Equipped with the engineer's mind, we always strive to find opportunities to implement this technology. During the process, we learned that simply copy the business models in traditional industry into the crypto world didn't work. We've seen how powerful such crypto native ideas are, such as liquidity mining, play to earn, and non-fungible tokens, etc. So investment is just one block of this puzzle. We built a whole ecosystem around. Here are some of the achievements we made in the past few years. As a fund, we believe that the success of our portfolio companies is also our success. We leveraged the resources we have to help them grow. We hosted more than 100 meetups, both online and offline, and we preached crypto projects and technologies since 2016. We helped 20 plus projects grow their community in China. In 2018, we launched a blockchain innovation lab together with Plug and Play China, focusing on accelerating permissioned applications. We kept our roots in the developers community, supported the ETH Planet and the BTCU communities in China. And we built the partnerships with many different other projects to facilitate their ecosystems. Link is definitely one of the closest. Here, I just want to show you a selective portfolio. We follow the tech-driven investment strategy in early days. This is nothing secret. The infrastructures are always coming first. I still remember that people were talking a lot about the Kenyan app years ago. As emerging and the thriving of the DeFi and the NFT, I barely heard any of this discussion today. We adopted the thesis-driven strategy later on and gradually moved our investments to the upper stacks, the application layers. That doesn't mean we gave up the investments in infrastructure. There are still problems need to be solved, such as privacy, zero-knowledge virtual machine, scalability, etc. For a general investment thesis, if we assume a multi-chain future, the middleware to support cross-chain asset transaction is a must. There are many bridges on the market currently, but the safety issue is still a concern, right? Other tools such as wallets, aggregators, and oracles are necessary to support it as well. For DeFi, I still think that there are many interesting things based on can be done, such as option liquidity aggregator, financial products based on different option strategies, and LP pools, DEX based on L2s, etc. NFT is definitely facing the new era of innovation. We valued a lot on the infrastructures early on. Now we saw new paradigms never seen before in traditional finance, such as digital arts minted on chain, play or earn gamify, social groups by holding certain NFTs, like the apes, yes, digital identity, etc. This is going to change the way people interacting with each other and reshape the social media and the game industry, I think. It's going to be big and revolutionary. If you got great ideas, please talk to us. We hope that we can stay by your side and to get through the up and downs with you. You can always find us through the following different ways. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I'm Alon from the Alchemy Developer Advocate team. Welcome to the Chainlink Hackathon. On behalf of the entire Alchemy team, we are so excited to get the chance to see what you guys are building and help kind of support you along your Web3 journey. So I wanted to take the time to tell you a little bit more about Alchemy and how you'll be using us throughout this hackathon. So first off, what is Alchemy? We're a blockchain developer platform used on many chains, primarily Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, a couple more layer ones as well. We currently power a lot of the top companies in the space. So projects like in decentralized finance, like Yearn Finance, DYDX, Aave, in addition to NFT projects like Dapper Labs and OpenSea, and infrastructure platforms like The Graph. Cool. So wanted to take a step back and give you guys kind of an overview of where Alchemy fits in the stack. I know we have developers from a whole range of experience participating in this hackathon, which is really awesome. So whether you're a Web 2 developer, a Web 3 developer, or just a non-coder and want to understand like what's going on here, I wanted to kind of walk you through where Alchemy fits in the stack. So if you think about the three major paradigms, the major shifts in technology over the course of history, the sort of three big ones are one, the personal computer, two, the internet, and three, blockchain, which is the one that we're in right now. And along each of these shifts, there's always been a pattern of three major layers in the stack. First is the protocol layer. So when it was the personal computer, the protocol layer is the RAM, the CPU, the hard drive. The second layer that always comes in is the platform layer. So for the personal computer, that's the operating system, right? So the operating system was built on top of the actual protocol layer, and that platform layer, the operating system, enabled the final and third layer, the one that's most commonly known to consumers and users alike, and that's the application layer. So those are the kind of the three shifts. We see that same exact pattern with the internet. The protocol layer becomes HTTP, FTP, SMTP, and these are ways for computers to communicate, right? That platform layer that came in was Amazon Web Services. There's also Google GCS and Microsoft Azure, but Amazon Web Services is sort of the dominant force here. What AWS did was made it really, really easy for the application layer like Netflix, Airbnb, Uber, those people and those developers to actually build on top of the protocol layer. So at every kind of step of the way, there's always this middle stack that often goes kind of unrecognized for the work that they enable the application layer to do. And so this is what Alchemy is trying to do for blockchain, right? The protocol layer is now the actual chains themselves, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, whatever that might be. Alchemy is that platform layer that's enabling those applications to build really smoothly and kind of abstracting away a lot of the challenges that comes with building on top of that raw protocol layer. So, now that things like exchanges, NFTs, and decentralized finance products can easily be built with this new platform layer that Alchemy is introducing. So let's talk about how concretely you're going to use Alchemy. So the way you can think about it is basically any data that you're going to read or write to the blockchain will end up coming through the Alchemy API. So writing data to the chain, this includes things like deploying your smart contract, sending different transactions, or anything that really modifies the state of the chain. Those are kind of writes. While on the read side, this includes things like fetching transaction info, really reading down any data that you want to feed into your application from the blockchain. And we actually offer free archive data. So if you want to get something from block 0 all the way to block latest, you can do that through Alchemy. Cool, so now let's talk about what everyone wants to hear, the actual prizes that we're going to be offering for the hackathon. So super exciting stuff. First off, every single hackathon participant at this Chainlink hackathon, we know there are a ton of you guys, are going to get 2 free months of our growth tier. And the reason why we decided to do 2 free months was because we want to make sure we sort of support you throughout your whole journey of building, launching, and then scaling your application and actually going and gaining traction in users. So again, with the free growth, you'll have about 6 million requests per month, a bunch of access to enhanced APIs, high rate limits, and a bunch of applications as well. Great, so the first project that we want to award a prize to is the best multi-chain project. So how you can qualify for this prize is if you deploy your project to 2 or more chains using Alchemy. So the chains that we support that would make sense to deploy to are Ethereum, Optimism, Arbitrum, and Polygon. If you deploy your project to 2+ chains on Alchemy, you're qualified for this prize. And what does this prize entail? Well, first off, project amplification. So we'll write a custom blog post for your project, include you in our newsletter that has thousands and thousands of subscribers, post tweets about you. And then of course, the meat of it, you'll get 1 free year of growth tier on Alchemy, so you can grow and scale for an entire year, all completely free. You'll have a VIP support channel that literally has our entire team, our entire engineering team and go-to-market team in that channel there to help support you. We'll give you intros to investors, and of course, $2,000 cash to help you get up and running as you're building out your project. And last but not least, wanted to give kind of the grand prize and entrance. We're giving away a $20,000 prize pool for every single project that launches with Alchemy. So if you're a project that's using Alchemy throughout this hackathon, you'll qualify for this prize pool, and literally just anyone who wants to build, which we think is going to be most of you guys if you're building a blockchain application. So super exciting stuff. Everyone will get a chunk of this prize pool. Cool. Lastly, I want to leave off with some resources for you guys. So a couple of things. One, we have a really awesome video tutorial from one of our developer advocates, Albert, that teaches you end-to-end how to deploy a Solidity smart contract. Super helpful for beginners, especially. We also have an awesome NFT tutorial on our documentation that walks you through building and launching your own NFT and teaches you about the smart contract itself. And then finally, talk to us. As you're on your Web3 journey and building out your project, we'd love to hear about little experiences, positive or negative, whatever that might be. Tweet at us at Alchemy Platform, tag us along your journey. Our documentation has lots of good resources for building in Web3 and good learning guides as well. Join our Discord and say, hey, we have an awesome community of developers from beginners to experts who are super, super helpful and kind of excited about this space. And then the developer advocate team at Alchemy will be sitting along in the Chainlink Discord in that Alchemy support channel. So whenever you have questions about blockchain development in general, Alchemy specific stuff, whatever that might look like, we're there to help and are really, really, really excited to see you guys build. So best of luck on your journey here and looking forward to hearing what you guys are building.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chainlink Fall 2021 Hackathon. My name's Alex, and I am a CEO of Aurora Labs. With my colleagues, we are building Aurora, a scalability solution to Ethereum. In short, Aurora consists of an EVM runtime implemented as a smart contract on top of Near blockchain and the trustless Rainbow bridge that connects it with Ethereum. Aurora uses scalable and efficient Near blockchain as its backbone, so it inherits its features. And we are focusing only on the integration layer, which allows Aurora to be one of the fastest developed infrastructure solutions on the market. Aurora is live on the mainnet, and this is the perfect time for you to launch your applications there. With 1 second transaction confirmation time and 1 cent gas fees, your users are going to love the new experience of the familiar Ethereum applications. Even more, at the moment, all of the Aurora transactions are subsidized by Aurora Labs. So literally, these are free of charge. And of course, most importantly for hackers, we have all the familiar tools available to you. Remix, Hardhat, Truffle, Block Scout as an explorer, all of these are at your disposal with 1 minute configuration setup. Just change your RPC endpoint and you're good to go. The relevant info you can find on the developer section at aurora.dev website. We are excited to join this event and propose the challenge to you. Let's help Ethereum economy to grow together. Happy hacking.
And we have one more sponsor who actually didn't have a chance to make it here, so I'm going to be representing them. It is the UFO Gaming Protocol. So they are offering $50,000 across, I believe, 3 different prizes. You can check on dev posts to work and build the next gaming phenomenon to integrate with their platform. So UFO Gaming is a economy, is a decentralized group of games and designers and this amazing gaming group to build decentralized games. So $50,000 in UFO Gaming up for grabs. I think it's across 3 different prizes. Definitely go check out the dev post to get the details. But if you're looking to become the next gaming phenomenon, this is the place to do it. Definitely check out the UFO Gaming prize as well. And with that, a huge thank you, a huge round of applause for all the participating sponsors, all the participating technologies who made this possible to allow this hackathon to be one of the biggest and one of the best, not just for Chainlink, not just for the Chainlink community, but for the entire blockchain space. So we are beyond thrilled with who's here now, what we're going to see, all the events that we have going on, all the participants and everything. And we are so excited to see everything that people build. Again, these are the stomping grounds of innovation for the future of these hybrid smart contracts. Again, for those who are looking on getting help, definitely jump in the Discord. The community is absolutely fantastic and help each other out, right? Every channel in that hackathon category is for you to participate, you to group with people, you to sync with people, ask questions, network, do whatever you want. You never know, who you're talking to or, where a relationship might lead, or just how much fun you might have with a different group. Definitely check out the starter kits, follow along with those workshops. Again, if you go to hack.chain.link, and you sync your calendar with your calendar, you can get those updates. Sync the calendar with your calendar. You can get those updates to see when those events are happening. So you can make sure to watch them, to be there, to see these events so that you can build the next future of these smart contract applications. Definitely check out the documentation. Definitely check out Stack Overflow. There's a ton of content. And I'm sure if you ask in the Discord, hey, I'm looking for, a blog or video that might do this, or where can you point me to do Y? I'm sure somebody will help you out as well. So with that being said, it's time for team building. And that means the hackathon opening ceremony has completed. We are incredibly excited for the next month and a week. I believe that's how long it is. For the next month or so, to see what everyone builds, to see the learning and the growth, to see people build the future of these hybrid smart contracts. And it's all going to start with building a team, networking with people, and getting those connections to start that journey. So let's jump in together. Again, those links are on the hack.chain.link website. You can jump down. There's a big green join button that you can jump. I also posted it in the Discord recently. I will see you at the team building event. Let's make this a phenomenal hackathon.